Guys, we are starting to wrap things up, and I will be in momentarily. Just finishing off this, and as soon as I've got my personal stuff off the screen, is that my Pokemon tracker? I don't need Google Drive up. Don't need my G Portal up. Keep YouTube up. Keep the advert stuff up. I'm going to move YouTube showing that. Put you there. Go to the beginning. No, just before it. That leaves them together. I'm just going to wait for you. Why is there an extra I wrote there? Yeah, I will literally be like 20-30 seconds. I'm just waiting for this thing to run. As soon as it's finished running, then I can close the app, and then we can crack on with today's episode. There's a lot to do today, a lot to do, and I'm already late as it is making this episode. Cool. Kind of did what I wanted. Anyway, so yeah, anyway, so let's crack on. Let's get off that screen. Cheap viewers. Right. Looks like I need to Twitch up now. This is annoying because I've got nothing running, and I get stuff like that immediately. No. Shush. Advertising other people. So this is the only way I can really work right now. Actually, what I could do is actually change that from my screen view. Yeah, get rid of that. If we put this on, oh no, because we can't do that because I also need to have what you call it, Game Maker, and the ability to look at the pop-up. Right, you little bloody ass. Report. Scambot. It's just a bot trying to sell views. Block this user. How do I remove the comment? I mean, come on, moderator, I should be able to do that. Can I not delete comments in my own bloody stream? I pin it and I can reply to it, but I can't seem to delete the comment. The easiest way for me to do this, if I just go into here, go into there, and then just refresh this, transform. No properties. And you come down to browser properties. If it never let me do it, and I can't use my scrolling wheel on my mouse because the scrolling wheel is broken. There we go. That's that gone. Cool. I don't like the fact that you can see that when that happens, but that's the best we can do at the moment. I'll have to bring up some chats on my phone and such, just so we can see what's going on. Because today, once again, we do not have our second monitor. I'm going to have to start remembering to pack that thing when we come away for calls like this. But I've got my phone open, that'll do. Right, so first things first, as is custom with all these streams, we cover all the things I've done in all the mini updates up to now, which will be, as you can see my statistics, actually a lot of views, but still nobody playing the game. To do my development logs, just so I can give myself a reminder of what we're working on. Oh, okay, yep, right, yep. So that just tells me I was right. So, nope, wrong one. So then, let's start covering some of the things we've looked at. First things first that we've added a few new features, namely this thing. So what we've got now is we have a new stats page. Every time we load in, well, when the game starts, it runs this little script here, which just adds all of these new stats. So it counts up all like things like it counts for your coins, blood, dry blood, and such. How much health you feel over the game, and whatever your highest score is. We've added a load feature, which would then run second. And say this just loads up all previous stats, and then it should. Let's see why it hasn't. Oh yes, I understand now. Because essentially, when this runs, what it does is it checks to see if you have the file, and if you don't have the file, it saves the file, so that way you get a blank copy of these stats put in every single time. I am planning on changing how this works, rather than it just saying, "Hey, if you don't have the file, then make the file." But if you do have the file, I don't want it to just load the file. I want it to load the file elsewhere and then start checking stats, so only new stats get added. A reset button, obviously, so when this gets run, it just refreshes everything back to 0 and then saves it. Obviously, then we have our save. It's just a simple thing of, hey, show that it's saving. Open up a write file, write this file, and then save the file and close the file. And then update stats. What's this one? Oh, is this... Oh yeah, it runs this every time a stat needs to be updated, so that it consistently keeps your stats up to date. And there's one more. There's one more in there I've added recently. Is stat controller. Yeah. All right, we can't use scrolly thing on this mouse. Is terrible. I need to take it apart. Basically, when you look at the stats page, it brings up a back button, and then just draws out, hey, all your different stats. I cannot use this mouse. It is so annoying. Yep, and then it just brings up all your stats. It shows them there. As for the achievements, this is exactly the same stuff. We have a controller, which brings up a back button. Yeah, just brings up a back button. It generates a bunch of boxes that show where your achievements are. That's all this is. It's just saying, hey, I want you to generate 17 rows of boxes. Generate 2 boxes, adding a number to each time. Giving them an ID. And then once it's running, add 2 to the ID number, so that way the next one starts 3, 4, then 5, 6, 7, 8. As for itself, it does absolutely nothing anymore. I can get rid of that stage altogether. As that used to be how it worked. Originally, it was drawing these boxes, but we decided to go against it. It should draw the achievement viewers. Achievement viewers, they come in, they get the stat line, they get given a name. I had to give them a name, so I just named the first blood to start with. After that, it just checks their ID, and then actually names the box. And then, of course, for its draw itself, just draws a box, puts its name in. As for the rest of the stuff, so obviously new code in here, it just generates all of the achievements in the game. A reset feature, once again, it's the same as the stats feature, generates them back to 0 and then saves. We have this new achievement box here, basic stats. All this is going to do is, if the player exists, then it goes to their position plus a little bit more, so it comes down to the bottom and comes up a little bit. And then down here, this just resets it straight to the bottom of the screen anyway if the player doesn't exist, and then brings it up the same amount of raise, so it's always in the same position as if the player was in. And then we've got this little bit down here, which is just about, as the player's moving around, if they go too high, too low, too far left, too far right, that it stays in that central position. As you can see, when this game starts, it starts a small timer. All that timer does is destroy it after so long. And all this does is it just draws a little box and then adds whatever achievement you've got and just says it's been unlocked. We have this little tracker. This is a brand new item that follows the player around. Essentially, all this is doing is just waiting for you to unlock the achievements. As you can see here, look, it's just things like, hey, if this stat here is over 100, Less than or equal to 100. Oh no, if 100 is less than or equal to the stat, right? Yes, if the stat is greater than or equal to 100, then you can unlock this achievement. So real simple. Obviously, load, save, exactly the same, and an updater, which runs exactly the same. And all this does is add this. This is going to be really important, this code. It's got one variable just called Q, and this is a very, very simple code, which basically just says, hey, check the screen to see if that there is an active box. If there is, don't do it. If there isn't, then, and there is something in the queue, then it's to generate a new box using the information that's in at the start of the queue. So you see the variable Q first input. So it's whatever this is. It's just for me, so that way I can see that boxes are coming up. But all it does then is just generate a box with that piece of information, and then it deletes that information from the queue. And then after 120 ticks, the box gets deleted from its own system, its own commands, and then that frees up for this to generate the next one if there's two. And the only reason I've done that is because I know when we were first playing and I was testing this, if you finished the first level where I was cleaning all the blood, then it would try to give you the 100% achievement for one floor, and it would give you the complete the first floor achievement at the same time, and the boxes would like overlap, so you could only ever see one achievement. So this way now, when they come in, they stack up. First one pops up, once it's time, disappears, and then the second one pops up. So you can always see what achievements you've unlocked, and they will come up in the order you unlock them. So quite useful. Outside of the achievements, what else did we add? We added a few extra achievements in the end screen and the shop. We fixed a couple bugs, things like the player, the NPCs no longer like walk through the walls anymore. They do a better job of tracking the player. I mean, they still do that thing where if they're on like the left side, they can glide down like the side of the bookcases, but generally they do avoid obstacles. In all aspects now, so even not just walking around randomly, that when they're moving with the fairy, they will position themselves above, below, left, right. I think it's top left corner now. And they'll follow the fairy using tracking, so if there's like a bookcase in the way, they'll go around the bookcase so they don't go through it. When they're tracking the player, they will avoid it. We updated the arrow commands, things like the arrows and the fireballs, so now they can hit friendlies. So if you can position yourself well, you could have an archer hit his fellow wizard. Generally he shouldn't do, but I'm going to have to update their code so they can try and avoid friendly fire, but they can friendly fire now. But then so can the player, so be careful of that. I will add a feature at some point to remove friendly fire altogether. It is coming. Don't worry. Try to think what else did we add. The fairy, she now avoids obstacles in her way. She no longer flies directly over bookcases, and they definitely don't fly through the walls that surround the stairs anymore. That was a very, very stupid idea. But we fixed it. Next features along is if the party ever dies, the fairy runs away now. She'll run straight to the stairs. So, if you can find a room where the party's dying, you can use that as a way to escape. Just as if you see the fairy die, the party will run. Now, at the moment, the fairy is immortal. I've not added any features for her to be killed, because I think it'd be a little too easy for her to be killed, especially if she just enters a room. It's likely that the party wouldn't get in the way in time and save her. I mean, they should do, because the fairy gets alerted at, 10 blocks. And then every NPC after that tries to get within between 8, and I think the other one is 1 block for the paladin. So they should get in the way and protect the fairy, but you never know. So yeah, we've added those features, and of course it is implemented. He is here. We've added our brand new skeleton friend. He is a friendly, to us, he's friendly, but technically he's a bad guy. He will not attack the player, he attacks the party. He is basically the security for the dungeon. He's not very strong, admittedly. He's only got, I think we've got him set to 30 health or something. Or 50 health, and he's got no armour. So he's not very strong, and he fires the basic arrows, which do 10 damage, 5 to armour. So it takes a while for them to kill things, but you get a fair few of these in a room together, they can do quite a bit of damage to the party. So it took me a lot of testing. 5 of these I think I had 5 of these take down an archer, and the archer managed to kill one of them in the time it took them to kill him. I've not tried against the paladins yet. The paladins are quite tanky, so they should survive them. However, I will admit, hands up, because I was in the process of developing the new edition. The skeleton does not spawn in the game yet. He is just there as a reference currently, but he is coming. He is coming. Is there anything else I've added this edition? I think that's all I've added this edition. Other than adding experimental mode, which is just a new dungeon controller, changes the spawning conditions. This is the one that does the whole spawns a room, choose a direction, and spawns a corridor coming off it, and then spawns another room, and then chooses another corridor, and so on and so forth. And maps itself out, and then when it's done, adds rooms to the sides of all the corridors. I'm working on this, so like I say, I've added this as a experimental version. I mean, if we load the game up, we can see it. We can see all the new features live. I mean, there's our statistics page. I mean, it's very basic. Our achievement page, it shows you all the achievements. I am planning on adding a new feature, so if you curse over something, it brings up a little box over the arrow that says, hey, can you see my mouse? You can't see my mouse. Yeah, so if you curse over this, then it will say, hey, this is how you get the achievement. On certain ones anyway, because things like, well, actually I might do it on all of them, because I don't see any in here that I would really want to hide from the player currently. Obviously then there's a reset button down here, so you can reset. Here's the thing I'm on about. Classic mode, you can put experimental mode on, which uses the new map generation. I do not recommend going into experimental mode because it's experimental, it doesn't work properly. Currently, the classic mode still works exactly as we expected. We've still got all our movement. Shop is in and working again. You know, we've updated the graphics on this because apparently it was too blurry on our feather duster, but now it looks more like a scraper, a paper scraper than it does a feather duster. So that might get updated again. But that's basically all we've added so far to on this. Alright, so now we've topped up on everything we've added in the last few updates. It's time for us to start actually updating our game again. Now, what are we doing in today's episode? I've got music playing. I have. So I had the music playing then. So, yeah, today's episode we are going to be mostly working on, I believe, 110. Edit. I believe this is meant to be our... Yeah, I've reversed the order of these now because it just made things quicker for me. 110 is a control update. Yep, that's just what I thought. No NPC classes. Monsters, they've already been added, so I have to take that out now. Other monsters, they can be removed because I've got monsters now. So yeah, we're getting ourselves a nice control update. Yeah, we've rearranged how things are coming for our path now as well. We've moved the going to other platforms to a 2.0 edition, mostly because consoles and Steam. I'm going to move that to 3.0 version. Because of how things are going on this, I want to try and get the game up to where I believe the game was meant to be finished. And then once we get it to there, then we will start adding it to iOS. And we'll add a few extra updates as I work on the console and Steam editions. By this point, well, even by this point, I'm going to have to start putting a price on the game, which I don't really want to do. You know, this is always meant to be a free game. And we are coming up with ideas on having like a free version and having a paid version. But yeah, we're going to have to start charging just because, you know, especially when we get down here. Because currently, whilst it's on itch.io, I can do this game for free. Whilst I use my Patreon, I can take some donations off you if you so wish, but this game is free currently. If I put it on Android, I have to pay £25. Now, I don't mind that. It's a very small payment. I can do that. I'll do that for you guys. I mean, I've already paid for the music for you guys, so I don't mind paying an extra 25 quid to give you the phone game. This one is the problem, the iOS. I'm going to make that capitals. iOS. Because, unfortunately, Apple doesn't charge a fixed fee. Yeah, I did some research to this. Well, Android charges £25 and then takes, I think it's 15% of subscription fees and 20% of sales. iOS takes more subscriptions, I believe it's 20% subscription, 25% of your sales revenue. But more importantly, they charge you $100 every year to have something on the App Store. That is ridiculous. How can iOS charge that much when Android charges less for all sales and doesn't give you a yearly charge? So that just shows greed to me, but hey, that's iPhone for you. They're all about being expensive for no reason. But essentially, I don't mind the sales prices. That's fair enough. I mean, I wasn't planning on adding microtransactions and such to the game. But the yearly subscription, I cannot afford to be charged $100 every single year to have this game on the App Store if nobody's going to be playing it. So it's likely at this point I'm going to have to add some kind of paid feature to the game. I will talk about that later, what we're planning. I'll talk about it at the end actually, and then we'll crack on. It's going to be the same for the consoles. I mean, to what I understand, to get it on Xbox and PlayStation, all I have to do is pay a licensing fee to put it onto there. But once again, it's me paying more money to get things on there. I can't remember what the amounts were. And I know Steam, that's $100. You have to pay $100, and if you earn $1,000 back in sales, then you get your $100 back. I can't remember what the PS or the Xbox One were, but they were also pretty expensive, and so it's going to start costing me quite a bit. So, what I'm thinking currently is, if we add a feature where I say, hey, if you're subscribed to my Patreon, I give you a code, you get the latest version of the game out. If you buy the game, if you ever spend $2 into the donation on Patreon, or I will give you a Steam code, if you buy the game on Steam, you get the Steam version. The Steam version will be, say, like 1 or 2 editions behind, so a 0.2 of an update behind the subscription-only version. That'll give you then access to, you'll only be like 4 months behind, maybe 6 months max, and then have a free version, which will be even further behind than the paid version, which will be, let's say, about another 6 months behind. So, hey, essentially, if you subscribe consistently, you're a year ahead of the free version. If you don't, then if you just paid for it once, then you're 6 months ahead of the free version. So that way, there's always a free version for you guys to play. But it means that I have a chance to try and earn back some of the revenue I'm having to spend. This is why apps always have hidden stuff and adverts, because it's expensive to put them out there. But anyway, that's enough of the negatives, enough of the past, blah, 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 blah. New things, new features. We are adding the controls update today. So, first things first, we need to add a new menu button. Not a menu button. Is it pause menu button? I believe it's all under. Let's have a look here. Right, so what can you be? That's the map types, back button, quit, give up. Are you not also the one that creates all the sliders? No, the pause menu. Ah, I think these are individual, yeah, it's your music. Okay, yeah, so here's the P button then, okay. So first things first. Trying to work out how I've done this. Okay. Okay, makes sense to me now. So what is controls. And we want to do that. So obviously we don't want the game to game over if you do that. Right, so the first thing we needed to do is if we go to the controls, we needed to get rid of pretty much all of this. Oh, why did you move to that one? Huh. Is this going to work from the main menu? From the pause menu? That's the question. We'll look into this. I'll quickly type this up. Pause menu. It's going to be one line less than this to start with. And this is the only place I want this to be currently. Is here. It should be y minus 150 each time, so it's to 100 now. Ooh, not 1,000, 100. Let's just see what... Oh, we've made a mistake. There's two music ones down. Also... that needs to be in caps. Did I put this in caps? I did not. And I need to make some other settings change here as well, which I forgot to do at the start of the stream. Open the setup, please. No, it's in the create file. Yep, here we go. Where is those settings that need to change? There's our generation stuff to create achievements, get the tracker up and running. Here we go. Full screen is off. Music gets turned off. Completion level gets turned off. I think that's all we need to erase. That should run us as blank game in. Yeah, there we go. We just keep that turned off so that way I'd have to deal with sound and such. And it added another slide bar. Why did it add a slide bar? That's not quite right. Let's look at this again, shall we? Oh, no. Go to controls. You have all controls. It's not the same. What have I missed? Ah, I see what I've missed. So we set it as a button, we had it set as a slider, which would break how it works because the slider only works for music currently. Quick look with that. Alright, that's our alignment. We need to align that. But if I click that, see, it's not doing what it's supposed to do. Right then, so the question is, why are you not in alignment? Because the slider bar is a different alignment. Yeah. Cool. So that should be aligned now. Right, so there are parts of this I don't want it to destroy. Okay. Let's see the top bar block. Strange. So from this, we definitely want it to delete the buttons. I don't want it to delete the grey out. I don't want it to delete the actual pause menu because I believe that's what's actually generating the back box. We definitely want it to destroy the sliders. Controls. There we go. So we want to keep it like that. Keep it. And it doesn't come up here yet, but it will do soon. Right then, so we got that. Next we want this. when pressed, I want it to generate an actual back button. Instance create layer. I want it to be the exact same as all our other instance creates. Where does that back button usually generate? That's the question. If I just take this, there we go. Paste that into there. Excellent. Let's generate the back button in the same spot. Controls. Did not generate in the same spot. I generated in a very weird position. Give up. Quit. Quit. Ah. Because it's based it off its spot. Now, if the control button gets pressed, where does it get generated? That's the question. Let's do some complicated maths here. So it's based off the control. No, so the control button gets generated there, which is the same as that. So that can be zeroed. You get done up. That's 100. You're 5. So it's 500 less than that. Okay. So this should be at 0 plus 500. So the back one shouldn't move now. See, and it closes that instantly. Give up, quit. Quit. Excellent. Now, we also have this this feature, what we've used with the other back one, which makes it change pages. I think we're going to need to use that. I'm actually really tired. I don't know why I'm really tired. I've only just got up. So the setup will be in the main menu page. These buttons. Step. As we see here, we did this for this back one, whatever it is, this one. So we could work on 2 different stages. This global step feature. Which reduces the step each time. So that way, if you press certain buttons, it actually elevates the step to a different menu. So when you press the back button, it knows how far back to go. I'm thinking of doing the exact same thing here for these buttons. So if the controls button's pressed, and I want you to equal that. So it goes up a menu. Alright, and in this case, if that is equal to 0, if it's on the initial menu, then you were to do all this. But if not, else, I want you to run this streak of code. Namely, the first one being set this back to 0. Yes. Right, and this will be exactly the same in the other menu when we get to doing that one. But right now, we need to start actually generating the controller stuff. As I say, we've got the button now on the main in the pause menu to come up, and it will downgrade itself. But until we can actually tell it, hey, these are the things you need to generate, other than the back button, it doesn't know what to get rid of. other than the fact it has to instance destroy. It has to destroy all object buttons. So it destroys the back button, which you could technically leave in place. Wait a minute. Does the pause menu itself actually generate the background? And this generates, what do you generate? You generate the buttons. Yeah. You also draw this stuff. I don't know how well it would do if it doubled up. Instance, let's destroy it. Destroy object underscore pause menu. Instance create. I'm not even sure what layer that's created, to be honest. I believe the controls for the pause menu are actually in the player. Let me press that. She was trying to move the screen. If escape is pressed, here we go. See, blackout's made on a separate layer. Right, so, button. Step, where's the back button? With this layer. And there we go. So now that should hopefully give us at least the back button on that screen. New campaign, random. Click controls, get the back button, press back, goes back one. Cool. Cool, so that works so far. Right, now, the things that we need to work on is actually the controls themselves. I'm thinking we create a new set of menus things, create a new folder. And create an object in here, object controller. I hope I spelled that right. It doesn't really matter if I haven't because it's mine. I can do what I want with it. Right, so first things first is we need. This is just going to be the thing that brings up the menu. So when this spawns, it tells it, I want you to draw these boxes in these positions and such. So what I also need to do now is I need to create another object. Object underscore buttons. Nope, we've got one called buttons. Name to object underscore. Actually, call it con. Control buttons. There we go. And these will be the boxes that come up and be like, hey, you've selected us. You're doing this. How do I mostly do this? I know the shop uses a select system. I think it's in the draw. It tells it, hey, draw, but when it draws its back box, when does it every time? Yeah, something called I'm selected. I'm selected as 0. So selected equals item. See, there's this global selected thing. Step. And it just tells it to do that. It's really complicated when you don't remember how most of this stuff works. So creates an item gets given its distribution, blah, 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 ID. Given an inventory. I almost have a feature in here that when it closes, it resets the selection. And I'm guessing you're in the Goblin. That's what most of this is. Shop. Here we go. Yes. See. If keyboard, if the game's not paused, it pauses the game. If it is paused, well, it's half pauses the game. It's paused. One is only a half pause. And then it resets the pause and puts selected back to 0. So yes. And that's also something we're going to do. So we'll use this as a thing in here. So if pause menu, pause button. So when it's done, I want you to reset the select one. We're going to use the select one for this. I want to get that in first, so that way if we forget, then we know it's there. Control buttons. What I want you to be is I want you to draw sprite. Oh, not drite. Sprite. Based on this box is about. Yeah, and we were only using 4, 5, 6, 7 buttons. Yeah, we can make them bigger. Draw sprite stretched. Okay. And this will be. Oh, we're going to need a create event in here. I'm selected 0. Okay, so from here, let's get this open so we can see everything. We are going to use one of the boxes. So sprite backing box. Nope, not broom, obviously. I think Shopbox has a backing. No, we move to characters now because it's part of the shop. Oh, it's not in there. No, it's part of the shop there. Sure, Shopbox has 2. It does. That's the one I'm after. So, yes, I want to draw the Shopbox. I'm selected. Start drawing X, Y, and I want you to draw out to X plus 128, Y plus 128. Cool. Next up, I need this to draw its particularly selected letter. Right, so, we're going to need to add another create event. My button calls. I'm just going to put it as A for now. Now, draw set. Wait, no, it's draw font to start with. Make sure we always get the right font. And we want font 1. Draw, oh, not get font, should be set font. Draw, set, V alignment. No, not V, H. I want it to be center. Cool. Right, so that's drawing 128, 128. You know, see, if I do the V alignment, that could actually knock out text elsewhere because I've not done V alignment on everything. But we can work this out. So my font is 30. We might actually go for a bigger font, to be honest. We might have to make a new font for this. Luckily, we do set the font every time we do text. Draw text string. And I'm going to say, based on it being a 30 by 30 white thing, and it being center, we want it to draw at x plus 64. Just draw us straight in the middle. And it's 30, so take 30 off 128. Leaves us with 98. Half that is 45, 49. So y plus 49, that should be nice and center. And I want you to draw a string. There's probably easier ways to do this, but this is the only way I know how to do this. My button. So it should draw its button in the center. And this is saying I've missed something. Oh, yeah, we have missed a bracket. Okay, nice and simple. And you come in, draw a box with the selected value, and do that. Create. Cool. We need a step event now. Step event. Right then, at this event, if mouse x is greater than or equal to your x, and mouse x, we always end up doing these boxes, is less than or equal to to your x plus 128, and exact same code again. And now we swap all the x's to y's. Not too far. Right, so if you're within that box, if mouse check button pressed left, it's what, EV something I believe, or MB left. So there. So if you're within the box and you click the mouse, then it is to do something. Okay. So at this stage, what I want to do is variable again. Button ID equals 1. Always got to start with 1. Actually, no, because it's a blank, it needs to be 0. Otherwise, they will all try and be 1 to start with. Don't want that. When this creates it, it will give them a variable. So, if level.selected is equal to, is it my button I called it? Oh, button ID. Where's my step event gone? Button ID, if it's equal to that. Is it I'm selected? Yeah, I'm selected. So see, why does it keep moving? Why is that not a part of the button controller steps? Those ones are, but that one's not. It's annoying. There we go. I'm selected. 1. Else I'm selected equals 0. Wait, no. I did that wrong. That should have been outside, because that's a specific controller to say, I want you to check your state. What I want in this situation is global.selected to equal button ID. So if it's ever selected, then it sets the selected key to that. And oh wait, if no, we do need some of this. So I'm going to do that. If button selected equals that. So if you click it and it's selected, then I want you to select global.selected to equal 0. Else do that. So essentially, if you click the button, it will then make it the selected button. Wait. Yeah, if you click the button, it will, and if you're already on the button and you click it, then it clicks it. If it doesn't, then it is going to click itself. So cool. So that should allow them to click on or off the buttons. Okay, let's start doing some layout. Upon your creation, I want you to create a bunch of buttons. I want you to first create I want you to instance create on a layer. Maybe what layer these buttons go on, to be honest. How's the pause menu do it? When do you create things? You create things on a depth, minus 150. I'm just going to steal this. Alright, and you are going to create the P buttons. There it is, buttons P. And your button ID is going to equal 1. Very first one. This will be our escape one. Then we want some additional buttons. I'm actually going to set all these to 0, 0, so just go to there for now. So 1, 2, 3, 4. That's our 4 directions. Inventory, interact. So 2, 3, 4. You know what? It'll be easier if I actually do directions as numbers 1 to 4. Escape will be number 5. 6 and 7. Doesn't matter which way around the 2 are. As long as we remember what's what. Okay. The problem is all these are going to want to spawn up in the top left. Well, where the controller is. So, pause menu, pause buttons. You're going to create the pause menu when created. And with instance create back one. To be honest, shouldn't really need to have it create the back one. But then again, I guess when we get to the other menu, it's going to need a back one elsewhere, isn't it? Oh wait. I click back then. What does the other back button do when it's on step 1? Oh, this could actually mess me up a minute. Right, this back button. When you are... So this would be step 1. Alt F step. I'll specifically type this in because I have a feeling this isn't going to work currently for me. Yeah, see, if we click back, then it brings up all these buttons. Whereas potentially, I don't want it to do that. I want it so when you press back, it brings up the menu. So this will have to be if step is equal to 2. Yes, so 2 will be the control menu then. So if done, press equals step 2. Then we just put this bit in again here. Step 2 then is to do this instead. Cool, that should now work. Right, so where are you being created again? I've forgotten already. Controls, instance, I haven't actually told it to create yet. I'm going to have you create the XY. Right, let's just see where this spawns. Object controller. Already there. It doesn't need to have a name variable, and therefore does not need the with command. It just needs to create this controller. Right, let's see how well that works. Menu campaign random, and if I click controller, it puts it all in the center. Oh. Right, so what I'm thinking is if we put the escape up here, interact over here, directions can go there, and then we'll keep this middle, well, this will probably be the down direction, to be honest. Yeah, so I could put escape here, interact here, and then put inventory here. I'll put interact here and then inventory up here. I'll probably put that. Right, so if we state that is the down button, so down, which will be direction 3, is not moving. So for you, minus 150. Minus, how big are these buttons? 64, 128 each. Right, let's do some math. So if it's 128, so we need to go at least 128. But I want an extra, like, say, 20 pixels between. So 148. And this will be a plus 148, because it's the same thing in the direction. Except this time, it's its own distance plus a gap, whereas before it's the new button's distance plus the gap. Going up, these buttons are... Wait, are these ones 128 wide? How big did I make these buttons? 128 by 128. What are these things spawning? Oh, they're spawning the wrong thing. When was somebody going to point this out to me? This is going to make things look much, much different now. However, left and right should be exactly the same. Wait. Yeah, that's correct. That's good to know that. So y is plus that. 155 because it's not moving. To the left and you're up. So I'm going to make that 148. Which should be 20 pixels up. Let's have a look. Controls. Right, so something isn't quite right here. What? What went wrong with you? Oh, because that's not the end position like I thought it was. So I just made that like that's how many pixels you wanted to make it. So if this was on, say, block 1,000, it was over 1,000 pixels wide. Right, so that should now fix that. However, I think I remember why. Because this should be a draw end. There we go. So those letters could go up a little bit higher. But they don't get deleted yet, which is fine. I hadn't programmed them to be deleted. We should probably program them to be deleted though. So with you, if that one is pressed, instance destroy object on underscore buttons. And we need another one to get rid of the actual controller itself. There's no need to have a floaty controller for no reason. The back one should not work. Anyway, back to our buttons. I actually want to raise the text on this slightly. It did seem off. We'll just raise it a little bit. So we'll raise it by 9 pixels. We'll see how that looks. That looks a lot better. Cool. Okay, next up, let's get the next of our buttons out of the way. So the escape key. So if we say that needs to come over 148, double that, so that's what, 100, 280, 296. Oh, we need to put a minus on. It's 296. That'll take it up 2 layers, and then same on this. That's my escape key. Then on this one, do the exact same thing again. But this time we're actually going to plus on the one at 296. And then finally, the last one. Which will be our interact one. And it's going to go below. I might actually raise it up a half block so it's not as low. I'm happy with the top there. So this would have been 148 put it down a little bit. And I want it half of that block, which is 128. So plus 64 onto that makes 92. There, that looks good. Now, right, so number 5 is our escape one. We can minimize this for now. If button ID is equal to 5, what's that? Oh, let's just done that, fixed it. So if the button ID is equal to 5, this is our escape key. I want you to draw some text for me. Huh. No, I'm going to slightly change this. If text is equal to 2, or in 3 more times is equal to 3, or is equal to 4, then do this. Else do this. Wait. No, that's not going to work. My original thought there was that I could just say, hey, I want you to draw a piece of text above or below you. But no, each individual one will need to know what it's drawing. And it doesn't need to know all these directional bits because they should all kick in from the top bit. Okay, so what I want you to draw is you're my escape button. I want you to put up a piece of text. I want you to draw pause. But I want you to draw it based off of your button's XY. Right, you're definitely coming over. Yeah, it's 128 wide, yep, so that's correct. But I want you to go up 20 pixels. Let's see how that looks. Nope. I was expecting it to go a lot higher. Oh, because it shouldn't have been a plus, it should have been a negative. And it also needs to go up the distance of the text itself, which is 30 pixels, because it's a font 30. It needs to go up 50 pixels. There we go. So pause, switch tools. Hopefully that's in a decent spot. I might actually move that up to there and move this bit down. Or vice versa, I could move that up and then move all these down. I might do that instead. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I want the directions above it and then the 3 buttons below it for the controls. As much as I like how it's laid out currently. So what layer is this going to? This is going to y minus 296. There's 296. Square in the middle. Right, and that means that needs to go minus 148. all these. So that's just going to go where I want it to go. Why did I just click give up rather than controls? Yeah. Because I guess maybe if I do that, I've got space down here to do that. I just don't know where the pause button's going to go. So I know it's going to come down here, obviously, but... Oh, apparently we just cleaned up 50 bloods. Yay! Right, we'll mess around with them in a moment. Turn stuff now. Two, 3, 4. Three, 4. Right, so if you're on that one, this is where it's going to start getting funky. So we're going to have to start like working above and below and such. So, pause. Up. Now, the reason that needed it, because it needed a gap of 20. So, this is going to remember, it's going to be plus. But it also had 30 because of its own font size, whereas now it's not font size, it's how big the actual box is. So that'd be 148 then. And that was actually a little easier to work out than I thought it was going to be. It's 148. Plus 148. Oh. Because I didn't. Okay, because it's just there's pause in it. Left. Down. Right. Because that left and right button might need pushing out slightly more. This is why we're doing it off these instead of the pause button now. Yeah, see? It doesn't look right. That's really close. So I'm going to change this from 20 pixels wide to... If 20 is that gap, if I make it 40, you'll get a gap of that. So if I make it 50, so a gap of 50 would be... Wait, so I've got a gap of 20, so I want a gap of 50. So that would be 7. And 320. All right, let's check it again. Yeah. And then we'll bring this down. So I might leave that there and there. And then, yeah, I'm going to leave it like that. It's kind of weird, but it works. I like it. It's weird, but yet wonderful. But the question is which way around do I have these buttons? So 7 is high. No, 6 is high. So 6 needs to have its text above it. 6 needs to be the same as this. 7 needs to be the same as one of these. Wait. No, it doesn't. It needs to be exactly the same. They're all above each other. So 6 It's 7. So 6 I've got as interact. And this one I have equipment, tools. I hope that's the correct way around. It was not the wrong way around. It's the way around. There we go. Now it should be the correct way around. Okay, so they work. They can be selected. Select it again. I should do one so if you click outside it, it removes the selection anyway. So that'd be a good idea. Step. Else. So if you're outside of the box and you click, oh, this might actually have negative effects. We'll have to test this. This could, I've just realized this could have a very bad effect. This might be a bad idea. Yep. It's doing exactly what I thought it would do. Apart from this one, because it's the very last button, but all the others. See, because what's happening is it's starting up here. If I click it, it's selecting itself. You know, it's doing the first bit of the command where it's within the box, it's selecting the box. But then, well, technically this one runs it first. Then this one, then this one, then this one, this one, this one, this one. So this very last button, when it's being clicked, selected, and it's running its commands on its step, it's saying, hey, the mouse was clicked and you weren't inside my box, so set to 0. Okay, there is a way around this. Use temps. Temp equals global.selected. Global.selected. Okay, so basically check that. So if I select something at the top, then it's going to change the select button to equal that. If temp is equal to global.selected. I think this is going to do what it does. I'm having a bit of a weird moment here. This might not be doing what I think it's going to do. So if I click the first one, so if I click the very first one and only click the first one, then it changes the selected, which means none of the others should be able to activate this command here, because their temp will not match the selected value at the time. Or will it? No, because then when it comes to them activating, their temp will update to the selected, which means this will then be true again. We might need to make this a permanent thing for each one of them. Yep. Yep. Oh, second step, and we change this from a temp value to previously. So now what it should do is it should run this, it'll see the 0, deselects everything straight away. Then previously then becomes equals selected. I click a button, selected then becomes a thing. Selected then becomes a thing. It checks through here, previously does not equal selected, so therefore we cannot deselect, and then previously gets set. At that point, if I then click another button, then the global should get updated before the previously does, so it stops this from being done. The next time I click out, if I click actually out altogether, then the selected and the previous are the same. So then this says, yes, that should do it now. Oh, somebody got smeared across the floor. Control, so if I press that, it's fine, it's fine, it's fine. I click out, it goes away. I double click it. Sweet. There we go, we're just not doing the order. Okay, so now we can do that. Right, now for the annoying part. Now we have to have this set its letter based on thingy. So, I'm going to steal this, the draw command. And we're going to go into the step command, because this could change at any point, so. Just going to temporarily remove this bit, because we don't need this. We're not drawing things. Right, so if button is 1, that is my button. Is it my letter? My... God's sake. It's in the crit event. Yes, it's my button. My button? It's not... Well, why would I have set it to letter when... Ah. This might bite me in the ass. What did I name? Alright, there's no scroll. This is the... I don't have a scrolly thing. Yeah, with a capital. I think that's going to just display a number now. It's not going to display the letter. Yep. How do I convert from ASCII to symbol? I have to use the manual for this. I've moved my phone around there and I can't see my chat. There's no messages I but I might have to end up using ChatGPT to tell us this. Default keyboard type for current system ASCII keyboard. The default return title of the current system. Yahoo. No. Right, so I've got to try and figure this out now. So that it turns that ASCII variable number into a letter or a symbol. Keyboard. String. You'll hold the strings to the last. No, that's not what we want. There's probably a much easier way to do this. I don't really want to do it, but it seems we're going to have to go down the path again. I hate doing this. The amount of stuff I've actually asked ChatGPT as well over the years. Well, why am I not logged in? Have I just gone to the wrong? No, I've gone to the wrong page. I prefer to ask this on a different page, to be honest. I'm glad it hasn't brought up any of my side dirty chats as well. Right, so using GML, I have a variable set to a number. How do I get a box to display what that is, assuming the variable is meant to be a ASCII. So, right, so you can use cover. It's actually real smooth. It's converted to using char function. So, ASCII number is 65. This corresponds to the letter A. Convert ASCII to a character. Character is character ASCII number. Oh, so it's just CHR. Okay. And let's just confirm because sometimes it is wrong. There's the CHR command. It's told me before that there's commands which definitely are not what it's saying. So it is CHR. Okay. My button is CHR global up. Right, so if this has worked, W, yes! See, sometimes ChatGTP, very, very useful. But I only really use it for situations like that. You know, where, hey, I could sit there and read through the manual for hours on end. Or I could just go to the forums and say, hey, guys, I'm trying to figure this out. What do I do? Well, you know, it's just easier for it to just look the information up for me. It's essentially, I'm using it like a search engine. And yes, I get it. A lot of people don't like the fact that people use AIs. Well, it's very useful. It is probably the most useful thing you could think of for searching stuff now. It's better than Google because you can ask it an actual question. So invent. Whereas if you were to Google it, you can't exactly ask Google a full question and get an answer. It's going to come up with web pages that relate to it, whereas that actually gives you an answer. So this should now, hopefully, if it's doing exactly what I think it is. No, see, that one and that one. Them two ain't doing what they're supposed to do. So I wish I didn't close it now. OpenAI. Of course, we can bring this up. So I've put a few things in here. So attack and movement logic. This was me working out something wrong with the bloody movement of my fairy. Well, that was me asking, oh, what can you actually put in to the dungeon? To what kind of furniture you see? Recipe. Let's making a physical character appearance sheets, calculator for random numbers, meteor explosion patterns, character creation, and character write-up history. Cool. So we just want to come to here. I want to go to that chat. Sweet, that works. Thank you. You always got to be polite to the AI because eventually they will take over the world. If you're polite to them, they might save you. I do still have a slight problem. Using those values for non-letter keys, such as escape and the spacebar. Those do not display properly. To handle non-letters, escape and spacebar, you need to include some conditional checks. Oh god. Assuming the variable's ASCII number is set to ASCII values, 32 is space. Function, give a function, ASCII value. Switch ASCII value to case 27, return escape. 32 space. Add more cases for other non-printables, specials. For printable characters, return special itself. Return. Okay. So we just have to make a function. Variable display text equals get key name. Enter the ASCII number. Okay. So it's useful for that. I generally don't agree. It just wrote me an entire piece of script. Well, it's very useful because it's something I wouldn't have thought of. So if we just run this, we can rename this. But I can see why people don't like AI. Because essentially, somebody could just use AI to run an entire game. You could build a game using AI these days. So essentially I need to put this and put global dots up instead. And there is a quicker way that I can do that. All I have to replace is the C. It's this bit here. And essentially, eventually, we could probably use something equivalent to that to change how the seed is displayed as well. Oh, something went wrong. Where? This is missing something. Oh, because I put a curly bracket instead of a circle bracket. Ah, silly me. Run. New campaign. Because currently it's saying if we could get it so that it could use this display and say, hey, this is -1, to just leave it blank. And if the player puts a space in and put an underscore instead so we can see it, it could be very useful. Campaign random. Oops, somebody got smeared. Controls. Escape, space. We might actually make the we might have to make the buttons slightly bigger than to accommodate the word space. But that seems to work. Okay. So this works up to this stage. Quit. Quit. Right, so next up, oh, because I've just noticed that. Setup. We're doing programming UI, we're doing 10.0. So next thing on this list of things that this needs, that was the draw command, we don't want draw. We don't need that. Step. If button equals 1, do all that, blah, 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 blah. Right, this is only if global dot selected does not equal I'm selected. I only want to do this if you haven't selected it. If else my button equals nothing. So I want it to blank out. New campaign random controls. Something that's gone massively wrong there. What went wrong there? Equals set to equals I'm set to 1. This is 0. What? I don't understand what's gone wrong there. So by this logic, if it's not the same, then it should be that. Or is it? Oh, that's why. It should be button ID. My bad. Because essentially it was, hey, it's starting off as 0 and everything is 0 to you, so because you're not selected, so and then when you do get one does get selected, then you've made it selected, so there we go. Cool. Quit. Now we got the fun part. So now we need it so when a button is pressed, it gets selected. Then, if the player presses any key, it then needs to input that number as an ASCII value into the into that variable. I'll also accept space and escape. I mean, you could do control and maybe tab. I don't even know what tab would be. Some people might want tab to be their tools or whatnot. I imagine most people are going to leave escape to be the menu. And keep E as the tool button because it's like right next to your fingers. Space maybe to be interactive. Some people might do Q or E. You know, I might leave it available to people to choose. Right, so the button is blank. Right, because it's going to be part of this, so it has been selected. So var equals temp. Temp. Oh no. Var temp. We want a temp variable. This is going to equal whatever it is the player puts as an ASCII key. Now, how did I do this before? I had this do something. Let's get rid of that. I don't want that. Keyboard check pressed. Keyboard address is true. It returns true in the event of this. It returns false. The function will take a code key and return odd, only capital letters, A to Z, numbers here. And VK is listed as a main keyword import. So press VK. Debug code will advance to the next room to press any key on the keyboard. Press any key to continue prompt. Keyword check. This function see if the key is held down. This function can check to see if a key is held down or not. The function will take the key code value or as return by function odd only or VK for them. Which are pressed. How do you get it so that it returns? Which keyboard use? Keyboard key press. Now that's the one that makes it so it forces it down. Last character. This variable stores a string of the last pressed characters. This variable is not read-only and can change. For example, if you set it to an empty string, if the handle is already. If keyword is not equal to -1. No. This variable holds a string containing the last, at most, key checks typed on the keyboard. The string will only contain printable characters typed. No. Jesus, how am I going to do this? I know I can have it check if things are pressed. How do I get it to return the actual value pressed? Now, I had this before where temp equals. I had this before when I was doing it on the debugger where I had it showing me what keys were being pressed. Is it EV keyboard? No. Damn it. ChatGTP. Can't believe I'm coming back here again. Next up, how do I set a variable to the ASCII of a button pressed? So again, this is a lot easier than me going into the forums and typing it in there and waiting. It's quicker. To set a variable to the ASCII value, I wish it wouldn't do that though. Gamer key, you need to capture the key, press the event, and then use the odd function to convert the key to the corresponding ASCII. The odd function returns the ASCII value of a character. Capture the keyboard event. So if keyboard checks VK any pair, key equals last key. Okay, yeah, that makes sense. We should have done it that way, yep. To the odd. The character. That makes it a letter. Odd makes it a number. Store the ASCII value in a variable. Okay, makes sense. See, it's so much easier It doesn't exactly do what I want it to do, but... Right, so... If keyboard check pressed any key, to start, press any key. Where's the any key? Keyboard last character. Is that one? Yes, it must be. Wait, what's the difference between last key and last character? Else, if keyboard is pressed, and then I'm just going to have that display that so I can see exactly what it is. See, I've used it to give me a hint as what direction to take. Outside of that, I then don't listen to what it's saying anymore. So I'll need to learn. So let's give me an idea. And then all I want you to do is I want you to display the temp value. Yeah. Oh, we need to put a comma in there. Okay, run this and we'll see what it does down here. See, I would say it's a tool. I mean, if you want to use it to just F, see, it's returning F. Returns space. Escape returns blank as well. However, they're not shutting down when I press escape. They only shut down when I press back. Not when I press escape, right? So I need to update the escape one to get rid of that. Right. If you went to the shot, press escape. Pause menu, gets rid of the sliders. Instant delete. Delete the con buttons and delete the O controller. So if I press the escape key, that disappears now. Okay. After that's that. Back to this. Temp. I want you to return board, whatever this is. Hopefully then that'll actually give me numbers for escape space, blah, 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 blah. Select one. Yep, it's giving me numbers. It's giving me lowercase numbers. I need to get the capital. It's give me 27. Space is 32. I think that's what that is. Space 32. That'd be the cell file. Setup. Space is indeed 32. However, I need to give it back capital letters still. Right, so next up. Right, you. No, wait. Let me think. Right, essentially. Pause, escape. So that means the game is not paused, it pauses the game. If it's not paused, then it's this. Yeah, if it is paused, it runs the split. But if it's paused and something is selected, so if global.step is not equal to 0, then don't do this. If global.step is equal to 0, then execute all that. So in other words, now if I come into here, press escape. That's not working. Now it'll work. Apart from on that page. Okay. So how can I make this work? I want it so if up to this page, it didn't really matter. If you press button, wait. So you come in here, you press new, that takes you to that menu. You press campaign, for instance, campaign comes up, so it's set to 1. Gives you the seed random. Let's just have a look at seed and random. How did these two work again? Right, seed runs the seed maker. That one just goes to the dungeon. Right, so in your case, if random is done, global.step becomes equal to 0. Just reset the step. And then the seed maker, that's just going to run a seed and then, oh no, because that puts you onto the seed generation thing, so you can still back out of that. There's random, that puts you straight into the game, so that should be fine. So next we need the seed maker, which I think is a part of the setup files. Yep. Step. I want it so if this bit here, global.step equals 0. Because before that, I've now realized that if we'd have gone to the menu, if we'd quit out the back buttons, would have been doing something funky. So campaign, back, new, campaign, random, puts me in here. This now works, give up, and this should now work properly as well. There we go. So cool, that works. That now fully works. I realise as well, that there is one thing that should have happened in there. And I want to see if it did happen. It did. Cool. Because our game mode, our version has changed, it should have completely cleared out all of our achievements and stats. For us to earn them again. Yeah, I need to fix this mouse. So that now works. What time is it? How long have we been streaming? We've been streaming for nearly 2 hours. Oh, Jesus. That's a long time. Right, controls. Back to this. Con button. Right, I want it to return the order of the last character. Right, let's just have it return as a keyboard character to start with. How can I check to see if it's just a letter? Keyboard string copy. Yeah, you can copy multiple letters. Multiple string inputs. I don't want to use ChatGPT, I want to let this out myself. There must be a way to have it always return capital. Oh, no. Because we've got that in the seed maker. So you can have it return lower string, string upper. See, so if we take that, we go to our button again. So I want to undo that, I'll keep it as odd. Hopefully now that should return uppercase letters only, but still allow for space and escape to work, because technically they're already in the same kind of category, I think. Controls. So let's just choose that. Escape, it's 27, 32, yep, they worked. And it's all lowercase now, uppercase now. Sweet, right. Give up, that worked. Quit. So I no longer need you to show this. What I want you to do now is set keyboard is pressed. Oh, we need to run this again. Wait, do I need that? Good name. If global is not set to that, it's good name. Yeah, I'm going to need this. There's probably an easier way to have done all this. Global.up becomes equal to temp. I'm just going to copy that for convenience. Delete that bit and swap to that. Delete that bit, swap to that. Delete that bit, swap to that. Just keep going for all of them. Oh, missed the equal. Oh, we missed a lot of that. It seems like we control read it rather than deleting. Because there's probably like a method where we could just have it cycle through all of these buttons rather than have this massive if switch. I like the if switches, so leave me alone. It works. It might not be the most functional, it might be slower, but this works for now. So let's just leave it there. It sets the thing. After which, I want it to set the global.selected back to 0. So it runs all that, then global.selected becomes equal to 0. Which it then unselects it. So hopefully this now works. Random controls. I'm going to change you to these controls. Right, it changed the letters here. It kept them. Okay. Oh god, that's weird. I don't like. Oh, that's weird. I really don't like that, but it works. Oh my god. Can I change this to? That became D. Why did that become D? I can change that to anything, but I can't change Control or Alt. Don't think Control and Alt. No, they don't. Control and Alt don't count as buttons. That's weird. Could it be because I've not got them in the check thing? Because surely space, yeah, PK, Shift, Control, all that lot's there. Give up. Quit. Okay, let's go back to our code. Let's just have it Let's just have a check a few more things for me. So /star to //. So that still runs. And then I want to bring back my... I'm going to memorize this code eventually, so I can do this without having to copy paste it every time. Wait, what? Oh. Debug. Does it show debug message? I think it is. Oh, yes. Last key pressed. And then make that temp. So it should now show what keys are being pressed. '27. Yeah, Control and Alt aren't being displayed the same way. Space and Escape do. The arrow keys don't either. That's very unusual. Why is that? So why is it that the escape key, the space key work as ASCII, but the arrows don't? ASCII for arrow keys. All down the right. Oh. The platform with OS, it works on the attack. Because there's no such thing as an ASCII value for arrow keys. The answer you're looking for will heavily depend on what you're trying to do with the platform or OS. What are you trying to do? Read key values, print arrows, move the cursor, and chart these. So that is not going to fully work. That will allow for us to have any letter escape into space, because they're permitted, but okay. Becomes equal to 9. Okay, that didn't do well also. Right, so ASCII becomes that. Oh, because. Right. Let's not put it there because I'm going to get rid of this line once I've finished debugging. So if I put it there, then it shouldn't show like 3227 a lot when I'm typing other letters. Controls. Let's see. So if I type D 2068, if I find space, escape. See, so they don't have numbers. Right, what I could do with this then, I could do with this, give me a chart of ASCII. Which is, wait, A single character input string returns the Unicode for this character. No, that way. Oh. So it's a Unicode, not a... Key values. Keyboard input. Yeah, can that go away now, please? I don't like the fact that that's highlighted that. Keyboard inputs. Isn't always this page, is there? Why did I open another? Oh, what's sake. Oh, you have a page here of it. So let's go to any page. I don't care which, just something, just so I get rid of all the highlights. There we go. Right then, so constant VKs, functional references. No, that's not what I want. You'll get map. Keyboard set map. See, because that last key is what I want it to do, but it doesn't register. The variable reference to the values of the last key was a previous frame returns. Okay. All standard key codes constants are returned. This variable not own is read only. And for example, set to VK no key example. Must. You will just to see the last key to no key, and if it is, it adds what the key is. Then it resets the key. That's I wonder. If I just get rid of this bit. Get rid of one of them. Run it again. Controls space. So it's not saying what letter it is. It'll say what number it is. It doesn't say what those buttons are. How can I have it check that the last key pressed was an arrow key? So case 22, case 27. Switch ASCII value. But then I've just learned it's not even ASCII, it's Unicode that it's using. See what I mean? So Shift house. All controls, all those things. Controls. Space is 20. No, space is 32. See, but there's no escape here. Where is there? Is it one of these? Escape 27, yeah. Well, I'm told there was Unicode. Oh shit. Start, backspace, dash it in. Cancel. Escape characters 27. Got back. Got escape. Gotta get to libraries or something. It looks like symbols after this. Yeah. Yeah, that's all just symbols. Okay. What we could do is for God's sake. So this works, it just doesn't allow us to use the arrow keys, which is a problem. Right, so if it's an arrow key, shift control, it's going to return 0. Let's look at that chat again. Wait. Last key. The keyboard key was previously in the frame. Return key code. I'll say here, all standard key code constants are returned. This is the value that you get for the key code that is constantly being pressed and returned 0 if the key is being pressed. Check this down. VK loop pad. Let's see. What are all the number values or keys being pressed? Dang. Alphanumerical keys. This is VK, VK A to Z. Function keys. VK left, right, oh, dash, right. Okay. Check if any key has been pressed. Wait, what? Whoa, what the hell's all this coming up with now? All I wanted was... What's this doing? What? So it returns an odd value for all of them. Okay, this is getting really complicated. What I'm seeing from this is essentially I'm asking is if is like letters escape and space can be hash by a keyboard number to keys like the arrows also these numbers. They probably don't. Escape is 27. So, where's space? Because I'm pretty sure space is 37, is it not? Well, space is 32. So yeah, so these do have numbers. They're not being returned. You didn't need to check if any key is pressed. If any key is pressed, get the last key. Who's the last key? Convert into ASCII value or specific key value. Case. Okay. I guess there's some break. Convert the key to an ASCII value or specific key value. Right, so let's just check on this. It's just because it might just be a case of that it's not returning these numbers anyway. So if we set these numbers, 37, so 38, 40, 37, 39. If we set, I'm just going to copy this a little bit here. So it would have taken me forever to find that piece of information if I were to really do this through the forums or whatnot. So like I say, useful tool, but only used as a tool. So if we say left is 37, right is 39, up is 38, down is 40. Delete this. We can use Control-Alt-Z to undo it. This should now, yeah. Yeah, it's got confused here though, because this is now looking for ASCII numbers. And it shouldn't be looking for ASCII numbers. It's only because we told it over here to look for ASCII numbers. I don't want it to be ASCII value, was it's Unicode, what value? Alright, because that's not a thing, that was just a variable, wasn't it? Value. So we input in here, we state what it wants to be, return space, add more default, return the ASCII value. Which should now just be return value as a character. Cool. Let's return. What I want it to return is I want it to return this instead. Wait. No. No, that's going to have broke it, hasn't it? Wait, what? I was expecting a number. Oh, because that's right. But even so, I still think that's going to break it. Yeah. It's invalid. We just have to input some new numbers. So we can, in fact, have the arrow keys doing what we want them to do. Go back to my setup file. No, that's not my setup file. That's my setup file. Right, Control Z, Control Z. I want to copy that again. Control Z, Control Z, Control Z. Until that goes away. Cool. So we want to go back to this. And keep them as is. 2, 3, 4. That way, if anybody comes up with any additional problems with this, where keys aren't displaying properly, just let me know, and I'll add the extra keys. So, all right, let's just go 37. Oh, I said 37. 37. 38. 39. 40. That is 37 will be left. 38 is up. 6, I didn't do that. Up. Wait, no. Left. 38 is up. 39 is right. You must therefore be capitals down. We can delete this bit. What am I doing? We still have this problem here. This is not returning anything when you press last key, and it's a. Let's go back to the manual. People get map, no. Keyboard last. So if I got last car, I think that could be the problem. This is last character. I don't want last character. I want last key. Refers to the value that the keyboard returns the key. This variable is not. Right, I think it is. I think it's just because we have last character, it should be last key. I choose press space. Oh. Whenever convert string to number. Line 46 on con button step. Line 46 step. Right, it should be no key. Not nothing. No key. Try that again, shall we? Hopefully that's fixed it. What does Cal want? So, right. You know on... Why does he not come check to see if I were bloody streaming rather than just immediately message me, hey, can you do this? I should have got an achievement for that. I didn't. What the hell? Controls. So if I come to here now, if I press space, it returns 32. If I press escape, it returns escape 27. If I press the arrows, it returns the arrows. Return numbers. See, 97. 65. I need to do something about the number pad. I see, yeah, because that's different. See, 97 to lowercase a. I think. Let's go look at our chart again. Right, so what is 97? For uppercase, 97 to 122 for lowercase. Yeah. So I guess we can't use the number pad. Let's just ask, does the number pad have such a value? Codes just the values. Even though this code is correct, will capture display the values. Does that not mean number 1 and lowercase a are the same value? I've not asked for codes. I just answer me this, because you said here that number 1 is 97. And clearly up here you have said 97 is lowercase. ASCII keys represent the number. Whatever. Right, it's because I've got it returning an ASCII value, isn't it? So I could set this to be number 1, you're going to display A. But if I press 1, it will still do that. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to have to program them as well. I don't think people are going to really use the number pad. If people do, let me know and I will add them to the game. But right now, those values work. We have the ability to change this, to change these numbers. And I can add additional symbols if you so wish. So let's add Control and Alt and the tab one, I think, and I think that will do for those. Right, we could just look it up off ChatGPT, but Yeah, it's being an ass. So we're not going to do that. Control. So Alt. Oh wait, no. Alt is 164. Control. Tab. This is the beauty of it being in the console. Now I can see it. So let's add some more lines. So we've got down, next one will be 164, 162, oh, 162 is before 164. Well, that's it. 162, they don't need to be in order. And 9. So that was Alt. Oh, we didn't do Shift. CTRL and Tab. Let's have a look to see what the Shift key is first. $16, right shift doesn't actually have a value. So yeah, it's shift, right. Key 16. And shift. Oh, it's putting caps, so it keeps the same. Shift. Cool. So we might need to make these buttons slightly bigger. But that should be it. It's taken us, what, nearly 4 hours, I think? What, nearly 3 hours? How long are we streaming? 2.5 hours. But we have the essentials of the buttons now working. We could double up. However, we now need to add. Let's actually start to hurt my neck a little bit. We now need to add a little bit more to this code just to finish it off because it's not quite where we want it. As we saw there. How's that going to work? Oh, let's just keep, I don't know, let's say, make that A. Oh look, the game doesn't work anymore. It's not going to crash, but it does mean that the game isn't going to work properly. So we need to fix that. So what it needs to do is it needs to like search for a list of every single number that is currently in this list. So right. Setup. Global dot all. This is going to be a new one. It's going to be 65. It's going to have all of these numbers in it. 68, 87, 83, 27, 69, 32. Right. So essentially, these all line up with a different key. Wait, what? Oh, there's an S or a constant. All right. I guess all is always something that exists. Right, so it's left, right, up, down. I'm actually going to change these so I can remember the order. So, up, down, left, right. So it's 87, 83 first. No, I pressed one button there. Control C. I could have actually used Control X. That would have done it as well. Go down, left, right. Escape, inventory, interact. Cool. Down, left, right. Escape, inventory, interact. Okay, so. No, that's not what I don't want to go to here. Step. Select 0. Okay, so we're gonna have to get rid of the select 0 part at the end for now. If array contains, it's going to be all keys, and I'm looking for value of temp. So if temp actually exists, I want you to get the ID. Array temp2 equals array get ID, get index of all keys temp. I hope 0 is not a thing. Once again, it's quicker just to ask these questions. So I only use this format masking questions. I try to not get it to give me full things of code, even though we've seen I did steal a bit of code from this at one point. Right. Just a simple yes or no for this. Does the value 0 line up with a key? No, value does not. Thank you. Crap, didn't mean to do that. Right, so if array contains all keys, if the all keys contains that value already, then I want you to find where it is in there. Array, was it not replace? Set all keys dash temp. Wait, no, temp2. And I want you to replace it with 0. So if the key already exists, then you are to delete that point. After you've run all of this command, keep on pressing a key, do all that, blah, 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 blah. So you've pressed the key, you've done something. So no, you need to be tabbed out still. Right, so after you've done that, maybe I can keep selected to equal 0. Alright, so deselect. If array contains and it's all key global.allKeys, which means I've missed this off on some above because I'm an idiot. Yep. Global.allKeys and global.allKeys there. Right, so if global.allKeys contains 0, then global.selected becomes equal to array get index of global dot all keys dash 0, which we can actually pull from up there. It's just temp2, so it would have been selected. Temp2, however, that's an index value, not a selected value, so that needs to be +1. Because it doesn't like how it's been named. Why is it yellow squiggle? Attempt to isolate a local variable temp2 outside of the scope it was defined in. Fine. Don't mind that. Get index of 0 +1 then. There you go. So if we double up a key, so that, we broke it. Object all key was not set before reading it. What? Line 59 just says all keys. Line 59, for God's sake. I missed a global. Right, not that random. So control. I set it to escape, and yep, she got there. But then, unfortunately, I click back, which breaks it. Get a little quit. Get that one. I've selected. How can I have it also delete that variable? I just realised I can make this far fucking easier now, because now that is that. They're being pulled from that. If I change everything to just read off this array instead of these, then all of these can just read off the array as well. They can all be set to the array. This can pull from the array. I can learn from the array. Okay. All keys. Wait, no, no. That's not how you do that. How do you do this? You do this. So you set all keys, entry position, what is it? So 1 is up, yes, and you set that to temp. There we go. So if I change these to do this instead, and then have this read, down is this one, I think. Down. We'll get this the right way around. 3. I'm sure this is 4, 5, 6. We'll soon find out. Oh, I shouldn't have done it. I shouldn't have done it the way I've done it. I'll just do it this way. So, down, yes. Wait, up is 1. Down. Left is 3. Right is 4. Right, then I went, what, escape, I think was next. See, this is why I did it based off these rather than the array. Escape, in, and direct. I'm going to leave a note of this. So slash, up, down, left, right. I should put numbers in as well. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5 is escape. 6 is inven. 7 interact. Because I will forget. So escape is 5. You are 6. You are 7. If my button equals get key. What? What? My button equals get key up. It gets the value. Okay, I want to change this. 4. I equals 1. So, and then keep going as long as I is less than or equal to 7. I plus plus. Like I say, there was definitely easier ways to do this. See, it doesn't help that I've got these backwards. Say up, left, down, right. So I'm going to have to slightly rearrange some of these numbers. Right, so what I wanted to do is my button, if my button is equal to I, then wait, it's not my button, it's button ID. If button ID is equal to that, then my button my button becomes equal to, wait, get key name. Oh, yeah. Get key name of this. Wait, not array set. Of global array. And I want you to go to position I minus 1. Alright, so up. So I don't need to do this bit anymore. But it will mean I need to change a little bit of my code, because now my buttons are going to be messed around. Let's see how that looks. Controls. Yeah, see, these are backwards. Left and down are backwards. So left and down have been spawned in backwards. So, right, yeah, because that one doesn't work, does it? So that would be 2 and 3 are backwards. So you are 3, you are 2. Up, down, left, right, because I've done up, left, down, right. Yep. I did it based on what the keys are and not my up, down, left, right rule. So I should now fixed that. Yep, there we go. I'll change that then. Why is E jumping around? Right, so we need to fix that bit next. Steps. Okay, so I like how that's going off the array now instead. Alright, so when a button is pressed, we're just doing a loop. Right, so for var I2, so if I have numbers in a variable name, we put II then. I2 equals 1. Yeah, I don't think it's going to like that II. No, it should do, because I have temp2 all the time. Equals 1. Fuck you, you fucking standardization. If I2 equals 1, I2 is less than or equal to 7, because there's only 7 variables to go through, then I2 plus plus. Yeah, fuck you and your standardization shit. Right, so essentially we just want this piece of code here and here. Let's have it out though. So if that equals I, okay, set I to temp. Wait. -1. Yeah. Wait, is it? Global all keys. What? Yeah, that shouldn't have worked. Number 7 should. Ah, that's why it was going off on a tangent and wasn't working properly. Because those were incorrect. So that should have fixed that. So I press that and press W, it breaks. Variable I not set before reading it. Line 36. I36 if equals I2. Oh fuck, it's gonna break here as well. I2. Random. That should have fixed that. If I press escape, it goes to there. Press escape, it just keeps flicking back and forth. If I click back and then come back, it's blank. Cool, so that is not working properly. However, it does mean at this stage, say if I put up, left, down, right, then go back to the game. Those don't work because it's still the old controls. So now, what I need to do is we need to now go into here, to the character, into the goblin. I need to update the controls. Because this is no longer this anymore. Keyboard check. Low, right, so right is... Oh, do these need to in here? No. So right is global dot all keys up, down, left, right. Then you are number 3. All keys up, down, left is 2. All keys up, down, 1. You are 0. Okay, so now they're set up properly. Shop. If global all keys interact. So up, down, left, right. Escape. Invo interact, is it? Invo interacts is 6. So that's interact done. Global escape. No, you've now changed. You are now all keys 4. The only one left now is tools, which is 5. Which I think is something else entirely different. If global... Oh, wait. Yeah, Invo setup. Invo setup. Where's Invo setup? Inventory setup. There we go. Step. If global all keys number 5 is pressed, and we don't need this bit anymore, I don't think. Oh, I think there was a reason why I had that there. I might have broken this now. Right, so you can move around. Oh no, it doesn't break. E button's not working now. Oh, because that's tools. And it doesn't bring a menu up, so duh. I thought I was supposed to bring a menu up, so I said tools. No, you change tools. I'm going to assume it works. That's up. So now it's based off an array over the variables. It's another one in one place. So we can get rid of all that. It saves me a few lines of code, but it gives me an array, which is more annoying to work with. Next up, we need to do character. I can't see my chat. So next up, I need to get the So I've got that, so I've got it so it selects the key and where it's going. Fuck, I've lost my trail of thought. I need it to highlight if it's not set. So it knows to set that. It's just to my button. What does my button set to? Wait, what? No, get rid of that. So that sets it to a number. Draw event. It sets to something here. It sets to a number. Or a letter. How does it know what to select to draw it to? So I've not told it to do that. I've just told it your button equals get name. Okay. So I can do it in here. So in this case, then we can just call it that. And this is on case 0. So if it returns the 0 key, which means it's not set, then it does the little arrows, which we can do by just going escape, say, making that A, and then clicking on here. There we go. Those two are not named correctly. So we need to correct those two names. Give up, quit. You. Left and down have been swapped, haven't they? That should correct that. Oh, I'm looking over stuff I don't want to look over. Random. Control, left and down. Sweet. Okay, so that is now working. Next thing, we have to add it to the options key. Alright, so main menu, button, where is options, campaign, room, time, time attack, what's this one, achievements, see random back, as time attack, see random back, campaign, quick credits, stats, reset back, options, here we go. This is destroyed. And then I want you to do, settings. Settings. No, we don't select that one. Oh, that was close. Now, I don't know if this will do what I want it to do. It might work. 250. So 500. No, 400, should I say? 150 less. Run. It may or may not work. That might have all I needed to do. Options. Controls. It brought that up. It also brought this back one. I don't need that back one. And that back button breaks it. However, nope, that button, fuck all. Right, so I'll just make a regular button called controls, which will basically do the exact same thing as the pause menu. Controls. Click this and buttons. Oh, how did that? What did that do? That didn't do what I wanted it to do, did it? No, it brought up a full screen thing. Why did you bring up full screen? I've clearly got controls selected. I hate this mouse. I need to fix the mouse. Which you can do at the bottom now, so it's easy to see. So let's do it again. It's brought up a thing to do with full screen. Why? Why are you bringing up something to do with full screen? That's not what I've selected. I've clearly selected this bit here to do with controls. Control C. Paste. Thank you. 2, 3. Oh shit. Switch 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Skip. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Right. I don't exactly know what needs to be destroyed here. So get rid of all. Wait, no, those do because they're part of the settings. So get rid of them. And then I want you to create. I don't want you to create a back button because it's already there. Wait, did that actually delete the old back button? No, it didn't. Right, so what did this back button actually do? Oh, it's different to this back button, isn't it? Right, so this back button, you'll need to find again. Else if global dot step is equal to 2. So if it's equal to 2, then what I want you to do is I want you to do the same as this back button here. So destroy things like the pause menu, the controller, comm buttons, P buttons, selected and step can now all be returned. Oh, for God's sake. Look, you always bloody change when you want to do that and when you don't want to do that, and I'm getting annoyed by it. Control C. Right, so because I don't want it to create this because this doesn't exist. So we want to go to here. We want to create this, which is back at the main menu. And then we want the one that comes up when you press the settings button. Where's the settings button? Is it options? Options. And create this. Control C. And Control V. So that should now hopefully. Oh, there's something there still. What's that? Controls button didn't go away. Okay. Options. Where is the controls? Wait. What? So delete all buttons. Damn it. Options. Right, those settings. You must create a back button then. You. Buttons. And then we go, finally, we go into our thing here. To create the back button as well. Do not have to delete the back button. Controls. There we go. Back controls. I change this to control. And I'm going to change these to the arrow keys. So I'm thinking of making these boxes slightly bigger now to take in a 5-letter word. And I go into the game campaign. Random. It's the arrow keys. Nice. Yep, exactly the same. Cool. So that worked. We now have the ability to change controls. Oh, that's all I wanted to get done today. I actually wanted to get a lot more done in the spirit pace of time. I was actually hoping this would have taken a lot less time than it did. Controls. Anyway, so, as I said, I'm not too happy about the size of these buttons anymore because we've got some bigger words than I originally intended. 128 by 128. So if we add an extra, 64 onto each of these? Yeah, sure. 192. About 19. I'm going to keep that the same. Then it would be 32 on all these. Yeah, this needs to stay the same. 96. I'm just going to copy that and move it down the list. Start from the bottom upwards, because in that way we don't get a thing popping up on our screen at any point. You also need to be 96. Now the question is how far over do each of these buttons need to go now? Good thing is now I can do it from here. See, there's a bigger gap between these three. So I'm guessing those swarm. If I push them 32 more blocks in each of their directions, it's 3 and 4. 32, 210. And 210. Controls. There we go. There's a bit of a gap. That looks nice. We have controls. Eventually, I am actually going to drop all this down a little bit because I would like to add a controller system, which we can do now, actually. Because these are what spawned off of this. So if I say this comes in and it drops its y plus equals, I don't know what, like 100 pixels. If that works for both of them. Should do. Yep, see, a bit further down. Back in the game. Random. And we'll come to here. A bit lower. Cool. That's out because I want it to have a little box up there so we can change between keyboard and controller. So that's going to be a little bit harder to do. Oh, why is the back button not lined up? Why is none of this lined up? What the hell's going on? Back. Get what? Quit. Yeah, you're all out of alignment. You're not in the center of the screen. Why are none of you centered? You are all based off this thing, the controller, which spawns at X, Y. Where's it being spawned? Where's this being spawned? Either way, this then needs to come over anyway, because that's not central. So where is the center buttons? You are 192 wide. So what's half of 192? Let's get up the old calculator. I could probably work this out in my head, but I can't be asked. 96. Right, and when you get spawned, where are you actually being spawned? So it looks like it's the same for both. Charles, you are being spawned at XY. What's the XY? Is it 100, 100, or is it 0, 0? Right, so control ones. Create. When you get controller. When you get created, I want you to go to Y equals 0, X equals 0. Let's just see where that's. Oh, no, because then that wouldn't work for the main menu. Because it's being based off the pause menu. The pause button comes up, it goes to there. 100, 100. Pause menu spawns. Where does the pause menu go? Pause menu goes to the player. And the controllers then go to that. So it's actually going to the very center of the screen. CC now for it's out. So, I'm still going to keep Y100. Well, we're going to go X minus equals, what was it, 96? 96. And controls, and that was miles off. Is it only 32 off? Would it be a case of 64 off? Because I know the back button's central. Yeah, I think it was. Because we did add a 64 to it, and we did have it in the center to begin with. Yeah. Because we hadn't set it yet. Right, cool. I was just wondering why that came up with space and didn't come up with not set. It's because we haven't pressed the button, so it hasn't unset it. So that's that sorted. That can now do that. Now we just need the drop down menu so we can swap between keyboard and controller. Right, so we're going to need two more variables for this now. It'll be in the setup files, yes. Setup. Right, so that's all keys. So essentially, I want to keep the all keys exactly the same because that will equal the controls, they will always be manipulated and controlled and moved around, blah, 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 blah. So global dot keyboard equals that. Global dot controller control. Oh, I must put keys at the end, so make sure I know these are definitely one after. Keys. Right, and that is going to equal that. Just actually no, we'll just keep that equal to that for now. And then we need another key, a set of indirections here, which we need is global dot. I'm going to call it con key. Actually, I'm going to call it con board. You're going to equal 0. Right, because what I need on this now is I need it so that the keyboard keys are going to equal that. They're going to keyboard keys are going to equal essentially this to start with. Sake. They're always going to equal that to start with. This one I don't know what it's going to be yet. We're going to have to work that out momentarily. But what's going to happen is we are going to be on, say, con board 1, right? There'll be a little tabby thing up in the top corner that says, hey, you're using this setting. You're using keyboard, mouse, control, whatever, blah, 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 blah. Well, it'll probably just say keyboard to start, keyboard and mouse. But then, when you click it, you can then choose keyboard, which will update this to 1, meaning we're in keyboard mode. It will set this to be whatever this currently is, and then this will become equal to this. And then when you click it again, you go back to keyboard, then it will then say, well, you go back to conboard 0, then it'll save whatever this is, and then reload this one. So that way you've always got your default keys predefined. You say you've got your defaults there, but then it will load stuff. Or we could probably do with keyboard defaults. Because that's always a thing, isn't it? Default, in case you mess up. So I don't know what this is going to be yet, so. Yeah, that'll work. And then we can just add an extra button that just says default. The same as how we've got the reset button, just have the default, and that then resets whatever the all keys currently is to the version you need. So if you're using conboard 0, then default will load this one up, which will set this. Yeah. Well, I think that is it today. We've got the ability to change the controls. 'Cause I know Moore can complain about this because he has a problem. You know, he's right. What you call it? He's right dominant. So he uses his right hand for a lot more stuff than he does his left. So he doesn't like using the WASD keys. He wanted to use the arrow keys. So now I've given him the option to set up arrow keys if he so wishes, as well as several other keys if he so wishes. And I think that's... Oh, we should have probably had the enter key. Yeah, let's add the enter key. We need to find out what the enter key is first, though. We could also add the backspace key. Options... No, not... Yeah, actually, options this. If we press enter, 13, backspace... 8, and so 13 and 8. Some control subs. 13 and 8. So let's just have 2 more in here. If 13, if 8. If you're number 8, back. And if you're that, then enter. I don't want to say backspace. I would like a little back arrow. That would be useful, but I don't think there's. I don't think there's a little. Well, I could make a symbol. I could literally go that. Let's just have a look, see how that looks, because it might look shit. Yeah, that looks shit. See, it doesn't align properly. Enter looks alright. I'll just type them back. That might confuse a few people, to be honest, because I guarantee you that if I go like that, this is back. Oh, I want to go back. Back button's not working. But it's there. We'll see how it confuses people. People might complain. If you want to complain, say just leave a comment and we can try and fix things. Right, but that is that. Is that it? Where are the rest of my settings? Oh, because it's not settings I want to go to, is it? It's setup. Because now we need to default some stuff. Namely this, and this. Right, so back to full screen. 0.8 music. Complete is 30%. Run it to make sure it works. And that is us about wrapped up today. Yep, see, we're in full mode. We've got some sound. Yeah, we've got the double music, that means it's playing. And all of our stats will reset because I've been in 110 for a while. But we can't leave until you get to that. So let us build, create and execute. Dungeon clean. Let's give it its actual name, because it's not cleaner, it's clean up. 1.10. Official names now. Must be a name where I can rename the project. It'll be somewhere. But wait, that's that. It's loaded. If we come into our project, we have completed 110. And the next things we want to add is controller capabilities. That is on my list of things for future updates. Cool. So upload a file. Where did it put it is the question. Where did you just save? You went to Game Maker Dungeon Cleanup. Ah, so you actually went to his proper file location, not my folder. Game Maker. Dungeon Cleanup. And we want the 110 version. Open. I like how it's actually allowed for me to keep the .10 there. It didn't go weird. I guess it's because it relies on the last bit rather than the first bits. Executable for that. It's actually an install package, but okay. .0. Cool. Get that saved, and hopefully it should now be on our log system. 110.1, and it is. There it is. 110. Yeah, the files actually increased slightly in size. Nice. There we go, guys. That is all we have time for today. I've got to get on with some other things today. I've got Cal moaning because he doesn't understand how technology works. He won't use Just Eat to order his brother food, and I have to do it for him. So, until next time, guys. Oh, I should probably do a bit of wrap up. Over this next few weeks, yeah, we will add the controller capability. I think that's the first thing I'm going to work on. We will also work on adding the actual monsters. It's actually fine. Nope. More monsters. Let's have that in there. So yeah, that's my two priorities, is adding these two over everything else. I may also add some cheats in the next update as well, because it makes things easy for me for testing. If I can just say, hey, I want infinite coins, so I can do a run where I'm buying stuff and having a look at stuff. But outside of that, guys, that is going to be it. We are looking at controllers and monsters next up. In our next update, apparently, we are doing the visuals. Yay, that's definitely what I'll do. I want to update my graphics and such in the next episode. Visuals, mostly, it will be things like adding a little bit of animation to it, you know, so a little bit of a bob when you're moving. I'm thinking of adding like some text boxes and such, so that way we can actually interact and at the shop, hey, welcome to my shop, would you like to buy things? And you can click buy, or you can leave. But it is mostly going to actually, I want to swap them two around. I'm going to swap them two around, actually. So next thing is nicer things, because that is supposed to be me adding things like the text boxes. The visuals will be that. But we are slowly getting there, where we are going to be heading to our 2.0 release very soon. But anyway, guys, until then, I'll see you all next time.